Hey all my nerds, gays, and theys, it's me, Ren. I decided to do a new type of video today. I'm going to be working on my scarf, so I'm going to be knitting and doing a little story time. So this story is about this one girl that I used to hang out with. I'm going to call her Jay. Now, Jay, she was like my best friend for the longest time. We went to elementary school together. We had to do this group project, and she was the only one who actually listened to me for the entire group project and did any of the work. Everybody else was kind of like, I don't care, you know. So, during 7th grade, me and her had to ride in a car together, like, every day. And also during this time, I had my birthday, because I was born in October, so my birthday was coming up, and I had my birthday party shared with my brother. Obviously, the person I hang out with every day, I'm going to invite Jay. And so I do, and everything's chill, but at the end of the party, well, at the end of the party, yeah, we have like a sleepover bit, and she gets to stay the night, and I show her this tablet I got. It was a Amazon tablet. It was like $45, and I had paid for the whole thing myself. It was the first thing I had ever bought by myself. That was that expensive. But anyways, I show her my tablet. I don't show her my password though. It was the most complicated password I could think of. And I don't show her the password because I don't show anyone the password except my mom and my sister, because she is the one who like helps out, works on the tablets. But then at one point, because my brother also has one of these tablets, my brother comes up and he's like, "Hey, guys, my tablet has a password on it now, and we're trying to figure out what it is." And she grabs the tablet and says, "I know this password. It's like a super, I don't know the word, common. That's the word. It's a super common password. Let me just try this." And she puts in my exact password. I'm like, alright, that's a bit suspicious, but whatever. I don't care. I go to sleep. Eventually, towards the end of whenever we had to send her home, I had gotten sick. And while I was sick, I looked for my tablet, and I couldn't find it. And I was upset because I'm like, I spent my money on that. Well, that Monday, I was supposed to go to school, but I couldn't because I was sick. And I wake up, and I hear like this beeping sound. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I walk around my room, and behind my TV, which I didn't have like a flat screen, I had a little box TV because that's just all we had. But behind that was my tablet, and it was going off because I had an alarm set for school. And I was like, yo, I found it. I was so happy. I showed my mom, I showed my dad. I was like, I did this. And then I was going through all the apps that were open, because if you ever have known me in real life, which you probably don't, but I don't leave apps open on my phone unless I am actively using them. Like, you know how you can press a little button and it'll show everything you have open? I don't do that. I don't have any open. Currently, I just have, like, on my phone, YouTube open, because that's just what I was on. But I pressed a little button on the tablet to show all this stuff that's open, and there's like 20 things open. I'm like, okay. Well, I'm going through, fastly swiping through all of it, and some of it's like obvious. I had like my Talking Angela open, because, I play that. And I swiped through so quickly that I don't even realize I swiped Facebook Messenger. And I like saw it, but also I didn't click on it, so I was like, oh, well, maybe it was just, I don't know, I'll have to look through my apps to find it. And like, my mom had never let me have Facebook Messenger on my tablet. She's fine with us, she was fine with me going on like Facebook on her computer and using Messenger, but she didn't want me having it on my tablet. Some of the permissions of Facebook Messenger are weird. But, I finally find Facebook Messenger, and it's at the bottom of my folder of apps that I don't use. And I'm like, huh. And it's not like, oh, somebody put it there accidentally not knowing that was apps I use. It's labeled apps I don't use. Like, that's what the folder was labeled. So I click on it, and the account signed in for Facebook Messenger is my friend Jay's account. And I'm like, that's weird. And so I, talked to my mom, and she's like, yeah, you can keep Facebook Messenger. I don't care. And I talked to Jay, and Jay's like, well, it's because I logged in on your mom's computer. Okay. I didn't believe it at the time. I'm like, no, that's a lie. But whatever, I didn't want to cause a fight at school. And so that was the first time I learned kind of, this girl isn't entirely to be trusted. But the second time I learned this was 7th grade. I had gotten a phone from my mom and dad, and it was like my favorite thing ever. And one day on my way to school, I have, tiny woman jean pockets, and I dropped the phone in the car, and I left it there all day. Well, my sister came to pick us up, and she's like, yeah, here's your phone, don't forget it again. And I'm like, I won't. And then, because the way that we would do drop-offs is we would drop off Jay first and then me. So whenever, and also, I forgot this. The side of the car that Jay was sitting on, the door doesn't work. So I had to get out to let her out. And then by the time I get home, I can't find my phone. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I dropped it in the car again. I checked the entire car. I even have someone call my phone. And I'm like, but it's not going off. So I look everywhere in the house, and I can't find it. And my mom's like, well, you better find it. So I couldn't find it that night. I go to sleep. Next morning, we go to school, and I still haven't found it. So anytime, I have something I need to tell my mom, hey, I have this after school, I have to go all the way up to the office. This is the only reason I remember my mom's phone number, because I had to write it down and call her from the office. And this went on for about a week or two. And every morning, because mornings we wouldn't go pick up Jay from her house. She would walk over to my house, because it's only a quick 10-minute walk. But every morning we would be either on the way to school or just at my house, and my mom would be like, no, if you don't find your phone, I'm gonna ground you. Then one day I'll wake up and I'm freaking out, and my mom's sitting there at the table, and she's like, hey, we need to talk. And I'm like, oh god, today's the day, I'm dead. I was writing my will. And she's like, yeah, so your phone was found. I'm like, yo! And I thought this was gonna be, it's broken or something. I don't care, as long as it was found and I'm not in trouble. If it wasn't found at the house, then I don't think I would have gotten in trouble, And I'm like, oh, awesome, where was it? And she's like, Jay had it. Oh, well, that's just freaking great. Except it's not, because, Jay was there the entire time, hearing that I was going to get punished and grounded, and was telling me, oh yeah, I'll see if anybody at my apartment complex has seen it. Well, this is a great turn of events. So, obviously, I'm upset, and my mom is, understandable, She doesn't make me go to school that day. I stayed home, because I could not stop crying. Because, again, this was, my best friend, and this had happened. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, I say as I'm, dying in the corner. But, eventually, Jay's mom comes over and brings the phone, and she's like, yeah, I'm sorry that this happened, I have grounded Jay, this isn't gonna happen again, I promise. And I'm like, well, maybe it's a thing, because Jay was in band, and she had an instrument she had to take home every day, and I'm like, maybe it was a thing of, it fell in the instrument case, and we just never noticed until now. No, because she had entirely, like, factory reset the phone and edited it so it was all custom for her. And I'm like, yeah, and so no, this wasn't just a, oh, I accidentally had it. Uh, yeah, that was, oh, it was fun. And this was also, like, now, I don't like hanging out with Jay a whole lot, because, that happened. I'm mad about that. She had gotten held back for some reason. I don't remember why. So she's a year behind me. So luckily, I went, even if I went to a regular school, because I go to a different school than her now. But even if I went to that school, I wouldn't have to be in the same classes as her. So that's a good thing. But, it, it was a lot. And knowing, also now, she lives like only a few houses away from me. Because they moved into a new house, and I'm like, well, that's just great. Now I have to live near where one of my ex-friends is. But I have tried distancing myself from her now, and honestly, it seems to be working, I would just tell her, hey, I don't want to hang out, but, social anxiety, or just anxiety in general, that kind of prohibits everything. But I hope y'all enjoyed the story. I got some of my scarf done. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. I'm going to do more videos like this. So, hope you have a good day. Bye.